Okie dokie, hello there.
Hi.
Oh, 1 second, let me just fix that one. That should be better. I hope you can hear us loud and clear. Hi there, my name is Jarek.
My name is Simon.
And welcome to our bi-weekly Ask Me Anything. And this one is the one before Essen Spiel. So next one, yeah, I think so, right? And about that time.
Yeah. Next one will be after Essen Spiel.
After, but I think after we will do the Starcraft one, dedicated to the Starcraft one. We'll have loads of photos to show you from Essen Spiel and so on. I think the people are gonna be after playtesting, after demo tests and demo plays. So yeah, we'll be able to talk more about it. But today, as always, hello everybody, cześć, hello. As always, we're gonna go through the through slides and through all the projects we have yet to deliver, or yet to start, or yet to finish. So as always, if you do have any questions, please keep them coming. What we're going to talk about today is Starcraft, Quake, finally something about the Quake, Heroes of Magic board game. If you have any questions about that, let us know. I know everything's been shipped and we do have tracking numbers that we provide us on in updates.
We're still waiting for some of them to ship out from the factory.
Right.
We have the tracking for the first shipment. It's currently on the way, and we've shared that in an update. And we're just waiting for the other two ships to come out. One to the US, and then the other one is just the remainder of.
Cool. For Porthaven, I do have for Porthaven a few renders to show you. I do have one miniature, but we'll keep it for next time. And some news about battles, because we just started. No haircut and the purple hair yet. Here, Heroes of Might. What's the story about the purple hair? Yeah, okay, anyway. The Heroes of Might and Magic battles, I will have something to show you today. Master of Orion, if you do have any questions. World of Tanks, that's the big one, by the way. We are quite surprised with the launch. Pre-orders and so on. Heroes of Might and Magic card game, a few arts to show you. Obviously, for that game, we've done hundreds of ads. I have some random ads to show you. That's called a small update. Some things we started already, so there's lots of things to show you today. Right, where are we going to start? Should we go?
Yeah, so Sharon from the Discord, do you think Dark Archon will be operational for Porthaven shipping time?
Should be. The Dark Archon is currently operational in the UK. Only one thing which left is to sort it out UPS. We have an issue with the UPS at the moment too. So they do have new product, which is very complicated. But in general, we're just waiting to get that sorted out, and I hope we're gonna have that one by the end of the week. So Dark Archon will be operational by the it's now. However, if you backed. No, for the shipping purpose, it should be fine then. For the shipping purpose, it should be fine. That's the whole idea to have it, so, yeah.
Gluho Miniatures from the Discord, don't you think to operate with some other companies? For example, Corvus Belli with Infinity, and making some of the buildings and sets for their system. Have they reached out to us even? Or?
No, I think it's more about whether we're gonna go for the license from Corvus Belli and make terrain for the games and things like that. We do have cooperation with many companies, mainly on manufacturing, so making products for them. In terms of doing anything like licensing or train, at this stage we have too much projects to be delivered. So we need to focus on those things. Maybe in the future we'll go back and do circle back and do some terrain, do some random terrain for some other sci-fi games, but. You have to bear in mind also that we have our own IPs we're going to work on, and our own games, which they also will require a lot of terrain and some random bits and bobs here and there. So that's going to be taking priority.
Grajek, hey, what's the status of Home 3? Any chance we'll get to play it this Christmas? So yeah, as mentioned in the previous update, the ship is, the first ship is currently heading to Poland. It's on its way, and now we're just currently waiting for it to arrive. Shipping should start sometime later this year, but we definitely can't guarantee that everyone will receive their copy before Christmas.
That's good.
It will definitely take probably a couple months from beginning to end, because that's just how many pledges there are to ship.
yeah, it's not like we can ship everything at one day. In one day, it's physically impossible. And the other question was about the translation, so I have that question on the screen now.
Now that the first wave of home board games shipped, how are the translations going? Yeah, they're going smoothly. Right now, as I believe mentioned in 2 updates back, it was mentioned that we were going to start, we plan to ship these out sometime early next year. I believe like Q1 was the date of shipping from China to us. And after that, we'll ship it to you guys as soon as we can.
Cool. Entaradun.
Hello, when will we get to have a look at the Starcraft starter set? You posted pictures of your gameplay test at Blizzard. When will we see a video of gameplay?
So the starter box, the starter set pictures, you might expect them after Essen. So at Essen we would like to reveal the content. I think we're very close to have everything in hard plastic. Maybe one miniature won't be. We will see. Definitely, majority of the miniatures, well, almost everything will be shown in plastic. So we are so much advanced in terms of plastic. The gameplay videos after Essen, that's for sure. Closer to the end of the year, I think in December, we pushed all the pre-orders, everything for next year. We have to. We have so much things to do for that game. There's gonna be one more visit to Blizzard, by the way. So in November, we have to fly again to Blizzard just to give them another go. This time around, we're going to be playing large-scale games, so a little bit bigger table than you have seen it on the pictures, and with more narrative missions and as well some updated rules. So we have done a lot of updates to the rules.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that we will be running gameplay demos for Starcraft at Essen Spiel.
That's correct.
But this will just be like a really, really basic intro. We're not going to be going super in-depth. It's just meant to be like about an hour per session for 2 people. And it's just meant to be like, again, a really basic run through. So we won't be going over like super complex mechanics and all the strategies you can do during the game. We're just going to go like the core fundamentals, you know, moving, shooting, all that basic stuff, line of sight, just to get people, you know, understanding the basics. Starcraft, do the rules say how much terrain should be used, and will there be some difficult terrain, cliffs, or forests that will affect the mechanics somehow? So there will definitely be like special terrain.
Yep, there are terrain which you cannot pass it, so there are some difficult terrain rules. And yes, the rules will state how much terrain you have to set up. In general, in starter box, you will find also terrain. So because there's been a license, because there's been a licensed product, which we need to make it the starter box a complete product. If you know what I mean. So slightly different than any other games, like, you know, Legion sells you, if you buy Legion, you're gonna get just a bunch of minis, but nothing like terrain pieces whatsoever. We have to do it differently. We needed to do it differently. So you will get like 2 faction miniatures and then a terrain, and that should be sufficient enough to play the small format of the game. If you want to expand it, you need to get yourself more terrain or use terrain you have at home. So if you want to play large format.
Excited for home battles. Is it going to be campaign or straight retail? As Jakob mentioned in the chat, it's going to be straight retail.
That's correct, yes, only retail.
About Starcide, do you still plan to have the Gamefound this year?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. The date will be pushed to next year. Must be pushed. I think just January next year. The reason why is we kind of a stretch at the moment in terms of projects, and if Starcraft wasn't taking the place, I mean, obviously it's a high value, very expensive IP, so we have to really 100% focus on it. So we pull all the resources into this one at the moment. So we're kind of a little bit lacking resources now to do more for Starcide. But it's actually the good thing, because it will give us more time to create more content. When I say we don't have a capacity for working on these projects, I mean mainly 2D graphics and rules team, but that doesn't change the fact that 3D team will be able to work on more models, everything else. So we will have much better start if we do that way. Is Heroes the card game will be produced in Poland and China? At the moment, we aiming. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. The World of Tanks is being made in Poland, so that's that. Let's have a look. More questions over there.
Ganas from the Discord. As a painter, I find myself quite stumped how to approach clear plastic bits, as there isn't that much out there detailing how to work with them or how to fully take advantage of the transparency. Are you planning to release some standalone painting guides that try to explore what could be done to achieve different visual effects with them using various techniques, or perhaps contact larger painting content creators so they can experiment with them?
Absolutely good idea. So there will be a video, painting tutorial video from Dave coming to just before Essen or during Essen. It's for one of the miniatures, we're going to be releasing at Essen. And that miniature will have some clear plastic elements, and we will do that. We will show you how you can actually work with a clear plastic. So, but I think it's a good call, because our products from now on, really towards the future, we try to a little bit push the envelope to give you and users a little bit more, and our customers a little bit more than you would just grey plastic. So that clear elements is actually quite good. And very interesting, because the competition is not doing this. We're gonna be the only one to that level of clear plastic pieces be available on a sprue. Sometimes you get from us like a ghost sprue, like entire sprue of ghosts and things like. I mean, yeah. So yeah, tutorial is needed. We will do that. I'll ask the Dave when he's gonna paint the miniature, because the miniature will be you will get one miniature in the box. But it's going to be two variants. One of the variants will be clear plastic, the other variants won't be. So that one clear plastic you will be able to paint or whatever. Yeah. At least wash it. I mean, you use that washes for that. What's the next one?
Starcraft. Is it possible to run elite or tall, lack of a better word, armies in each faction, whether that be stacking abilities or upgrades onto a smaller roster, having elite variants such as war pigs compared to marines, or the bolt action method of being able to upgrade stat lines? Yes, so obviously there will be upgrades available for all the factions and their units. As for like alternate versions of models, that will come later down the line. So like more elite variants, that will come later. But yes, you can choose to play tall, like out of the box, by just getting a whole bunch of upgrades and focusing on a smaller number of units.
Cool. There's a question regarding any French convention which is taking place in Paris. At this stage, April is actually very, very packed with trade shows. We have a trade show in States, then we have the one in UK, which is the Salute one. Salute one is a large one. I don't know. The team's going to expand anyway. We're looking at ways of expanding in each of the individual countries. And for the French one, normally for the French, like the trade shows in Cannes, we have our distributor being there. So maybe there will be something for our distributor to go there with our products. Usually we pay for distributor, we pay for the stand, we pay all those things. He's got like additional stock in for sale, but yeah.
Starcraft, you say that the starter set will be a full product, enough minis and terrain to play a smaller scale game. Won't that be too much for some new gamers to spend on a new game?
You mean what wise? Too much money?
I assume he's referring to the fact that it may just be too expensive. Which, I mean, I would say that our starter box is planned to be very affordable. Definitely more than comparable to other products that exist already. Yeah,
and then on top of that, the miniatures in the starter box, many of them are easy assembly. They're not push fit, by the way. This is something we decided that in order to actually get this one out by March next year, we won't be able to do a push fit. So push fit will be pushed for the next future waves. When we're gonna make like a product which is much more easy, even more accessible. Push fit is a very complicated process, and costly and time consuming. That's the worst one. Yeah.
Will the pre-ordering for Starcraft go through you or through local stores? When can we know which stores can Starcraft be bought from? Kind of worry who will carry it here in Hungary.
So we have planned for doing two releases. Release number 1 is the online release. So this is something which we will do on our online, and it's an early bird option. This means if you're going to buy pre-order a product from our website, especially for Starcraft, you're gonna get first, and then 3 months later, after we finish shipping, we will start doing stores. So so this means the stores will be able to pre-order, but it's not gonna get product till we actually fulfill whatever we have in our pre-order. So it's kind of video game approach. When you go for the full package from the official release or pre-release, you get like, you can play like few days or few weeks before the official release. So, and we have to do that. The other reason is just the sheer volume of pre-orders we might expect is a little bit too much to actually do both things at the same time. So we won't be able to do online releases and as well as the same time the retail releases. So yeah, I think both releases or both orders should go out in January, which means in March you're gonna get the game from online orders, and then around about May, June, July, about July I would say, we will be shipping out retail orders, so stores orders. So I'll open some more questions. Porthaven sales.
Yeah, since there wasn't an option to add extra sales in the Pledge Manager, but now there was talk about the possibility of having different ship sales between the regular and ghost ships, would it be possible to have the extra sales as an add-on during Dusk Hollow?
I don't know. It's gonna be depending on the requirement. How many people are going to want this? What we will do after Dusk Hollow, there will be survey. So before the Pledge Manager, after the Dusk Hollow, and before the Pledge Manager will be open for Dusk Hollow, we will be able to, provide these ideas. So if there's enough ideas, we will do that.
Hero, home card game. Where did Cove go, or is it planned for the stretch goals?
No, Cove is a part of HOTA, so it's not. This one won't be. Did we make mistake last time because he quoted us from AMA 7?
No. There will just be the 9 factions.
Okay.
There's not going to be anything from HOTA in the card game because it's meant to be strictly just Heroes, what's in the canon. Whereas the board game for Heroes 3, it's specifically just meant to be as it's kind of like a celebration of everything that is Heroes 3, including all the modded content.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just strictly following the Heroes canon. Could it be possible to include miniature boxes with an additional all-in pledge in future campaigns? Maybe starting with Dusk Hollow. As an example, looking at caves, what I mean is an additional tier of pledge that combines the King of the Mountain with 3 boxes of miniatures, parasites, goblins, and spiders, demons, for all the people who really want everything at least once guaranteed without buying extras. Yeah, that's something we can consider.
Yeah. The complexity of Dungeons and Lasers crowdfunding campaigns is out of the roof, man. We are now doing like a card game. You have like 4 options and that's it. It's easy. Like when you do board game, you can actually squeeze it to 3 options. But when it comes to Dungeons and Lasers, everything Dungeons and Lasers, we usually try to do as little as possible, and then we end up with like 6, 7, or 8 options. And it's quite difficult for people sometimes to choose which option is the best for them. So yeah, I'm a big fan of something else. I'm a big fan of doing more things after campaign in a pledge manager, because then dust is subtle and there is no, there's decision making about the pledging happens during the period of campaign, and after campaign is the second wave of okay, now I pledge, now I can go and decide what I want exactly to take. So all those things I would try to push to late pledge or the pledge manager rather than actually the campaign itself, because we can make the campaign so much complicated, people won't know what to choose. It's too many options. I got that one, If I got too many options, I would choose none.
Can you explain the difference between the Starcraft wargame and the Heroes Battles wargame? Besides the theme, how differently do they play? So Starcraft is a mass battle wargame where you control individual units and they can go in all sorts of directions. They can appear from anywhere really, from all kinds of sides, whereas Heroes Battles is more of a rank and file game where you move these blocks of units together. Like you don't move the individual units or the individual models inside them, you move them group by group. And there's mechanics involved with like hitting from the flank or from the rear and things like that, whereas in a mass battle war game that's not really as present.
Yeah. check the next StarCraft questions.
Yeah, StarCraft questions. What kind of terrain is used in the game? Amount, dimensions, different levels, unique terrain for objectives. So just regular terrain that you would be able to find anywhere. But we will be releasing some StarCraft terrain as well.
Yeah, it will be in the starter box. So it's a theme around. I can tell you, it's a theme around Lost Temple map.
Yeah, and as for different levels, we have this height system basically where different terrain pieces will every couple of inches. There's like a new height level essentially, and this kind of dictates things like line of sight and shooting from above as well.
Yeah. So yeah, the rules actually cover those things. So because it's a war game, and that's what when we designed the war game, and this is one of the discussions with my team, it is kind of open system. It needs to be open system, like a sandbox. Just because you can play on any type of terrain, you have it at home. We don't need to have. It's not the board game basically. Board games, you have to use all the pieces from the board game and only pieces from the board game. You can just create some others, but they need to match the board game pieces, right? For the war gaming, it's slightly different. We give you system, we give you miniatures, and then we tell you play on the tables you have. So yes, the rules will cover all the things you need to have in just like a proper war game. What was the second question? Any plans
for making StarCraft specific terrain sets like DNL? Any terrain in Starter? Yeah, as mentioned, terrain in Starter, and we will be releasing more terrain in the future.
Exactly, plenty. Pylons and all those things.
I recently looked through your products and noticed Rampart Terrain also had figures. I bring this up as I was interested in wargaming. Is this something you're likely to return to? Probably not in the near future.
So these miniatures from the Rampart Terrain had some figures. I mean, probably you're talking about the Starcide miniatures. There was
Starcide and also the Defenders of Man, I believe.
There was actually original Starcide miniatures.
Okay.
So there was a war game we work on, and part of this one is even this vampire, for instance. Yeah, show you quickly on the camera. Oh, might be not ready my camera. I hope it is. Yeah, like this mini, for instance, right? So that's the small vampire. That's small, but it's... Okay, it's missing hat, but this model is like 6 years old. Look on the back. Yeah, 2018. This is where we designed it. Actually, that was the first plastic miniature we ever made. First plastic miniature. So miniatures. There was a full set of 5 or 6 models in that set. So, and then we have released these miniatures. You shouldn't see that. We have released those miniatures to the market. 1 second, I got distracted. A little bit too distracted. Yeah. And anyway, so we had those minis. We're probably gonna go back to them in the future. That's for sure. Because Starcide will happen. I mean, this is the discussion we talk about. Starcide, we're going to start with sci-fi combat, sci-fi space opera game. Then we have idea about the Titanomachy, so this is like a mech but set up in the same universe, on Starcide universe, and eventually we're gonna end up with 32mm models. Game. Yes, maybe. I would say about the Zelnaga, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, hybrids. I think hybrids are definitely planned eventually if the game gets big enough. Do you expect StarCraft to be available on Amazon at some point?
Oh yes, in our store, in our online Amazon store.
Are you aware of the release of a huge sci-fi product next year summer of a well-known competitor, and how does it maybe influence the release of StarCraft?
Yeah, we know very well. I mean, if they're gonna be summer, we have to basically. So first of all, we try to do in before them. It's a kind of situation with like a GT Grand Theft Auto 6, right? That's 6 now. Yeah. So everybody thrashing now their releases. Like I'm a huge fan of Battlefield. So Battlefield, they announced they're gonna be releasing next month. And then all the companies going to announce the game being released next month, only because Grand Theft Auto new game is gonna be, they push the date for the next year. So they say, okay, next year is gonna be massive vortex or massive black hole, and it's called Grand Theft Auto because it's gonna suck in all the money from the people because everybody's gonna be buying that game. Yeah, so we think the same way. I mean, it's not the best to release exactly the same time as GW. Never do that. However, we have no options. We have to do it, and we're not going to be waiting another year for the release just because of there's a 40k release. So tough. It's tough. It's a competition, so but we got a better game. Cool.
Unlucky Rendit from the Discord. For StarCraft deck building, will cards be easy to come by to build the ideal deck, or will it work like most trading card games with boosters and rarity? No, it'll be pretty easy to get the cards you want. Essentially, they're just going to come in like the cards that will be in a set. They won't differ from set to set. Like you won't get random cards. So if there's a card that's in a set that you really want, and it'll always be there.
It's nothing to do with the card game. So card game mechanics, there won't be no card game mechanics in terms of like collectible aspect of it whatsoever in that game.
Yeah, there was another question there.
Oh, sorry. Did I miss a question? Yes.
Follow-up. Will models come with thematic cards such as the Haka Mini with his related cards? Yeah, definitely. In the future, when we go around to releasing co-op commanders, we will definitely include special cards for them as well.
Yep. When do you expect Masters of Orion to start shipping? Definitely January. January.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
January, February. This is the date for Master of Orion. We already put that one in a schedule for shipping. The big question is how much mayhem will cause Heroes for shipping, because Heroes will be shipping around about that time as well. So we need to hit that window, and hear me out. We've got to ship this one by February, March. March is the latest date, because after March is the Starcraft thingy. So, we really planning everything out to almost every single day what's gonna be shipping from January onwards. So yeah, it's January, beginning of January is leftovers from Heroes. Then we move on. We have to move straight away to Master of Orion and ship that one out. And then we're gonna have start shipping Starcraft, and then we're gonna go back to Heroes shipping, because the Heroes languages will be arriving here. So it's really, yeah,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a good problem to have, but at the same time, it's hard to get through.
Yeah. Okay, this one is crazy, by the way, guys. Well, it's crazy because it's our first take on a card game, especially on TCG. It's about tanks, so you would say, oh, it's just tanks, right? And it's crazy because wave 1 is almost sold out.
You mistyped?
Slot out, Yes, I did miss that. Sorry for that. Yeah, but it's sold out. Almost sold out, wave 1. So it's crazy. We haven't expected that one to happen. There is still some retails, there's still some stores pre-ordering from us, but the sheer volume and numbers, it's actually huge. Very, very surprised about that one. So if you want to secure your copy, you can still go on our online store and get yourself a copy for World of Tanks. But yep, it's gonna be quite difficult for the next waves. It seems to be. So thank you for that. Thank you for support, and thank you for buying this product. It's just great. And from the feedback I received so far, and my spies, not my team, but my spies, they're telling me the game is actually quite good. So it's good.
You should play it yourself.
Nah.
Why not?
Because, yeah, why not? There's a reason why not. I want to first people to enjoy it, and then I'm gonna sit down and see how it goes. Now that one is just a quick one, just to show you the variety of different type of arts we have for the Heroes of Might and Magic, the card game. I've been given the link to that one, so I just want to show you. Obviously, we don't use any AI. AI hasn't been used for this product whatsoever. It's just pure homebrew, home painted by our artists, and the team is doing great job. Halfway through the projects, we find out we needed to do another 100 something arts, because initially we wanted to use spells and have those spells just like icon and things like that. But then they said no, the Ubisoft said no, you have to make like every single spell needs to have its own art. And we just panically start, throwing many and pumping out many arts. But we have like 5 people working on this project at the moment. 5 artists and big names as well. So you know that really, you know what's in there. Yeah, and this is actually starting next week. So
the campaign launches next week.
The campaign launches next week on a Gamefound. We have 30,000 people who sign up. there's going to be massive update tomorrow, by the way. A massive update because we have to clear out some things. We mentioned we haven't shown the full scope of this project, and especially the product. So we say what the price is, but we haven't shown actually what you're going to find in each of the boxes and everything else, which wasn't the best call. But we're fixing, we're catching up now. We will catch up, and yeah. So stay tuned for tomorrow's update. And also there's a few quality upgrades to this product. So as you requested some additional different.
To see. Greetings from Belgium. Is it possible to choose a local Polish/European firm for shipping the Porthaven pledge?
GPS. We do Polish company to ship. In Poland we ship with InPost, I believe. So
yeah, but that's only within Poland.
Yeah.
InPost doesn't ship to Belgium, I believe. Oh,
okay.
There may be some issues with the stream. Oh, it's back now. Maybe it's some slight problems with the internet for a second.
Could be internet here, guys. So let's wait a few seconds. Sky, please confirm if it's all good. Oh yeah, I had a noise. Maybe reconnecting noise.
Okay, it's all right now.
Okay, good. So I don't know when. What was the thing you have heard from us? Good to go. Cool. Okay, good. Thank you. The audio is lagging back.
Well, that's just one person saying. I think if you just refresh, it should be okay.
Okay, cool. Sorry for that, technical issues. It's a good thing it didn't cut out completely, so because I don't know how to reset it up. So anyway, yeah, that's not about shipping. We're gonna have to use some other thing.
For the Starcraft game, will there be a human Zerg and I assume that's supposed to be Zelnaga version for Kerrigan? Yes, we will be releasing alternate versions of Kerrigan, definitely, in the future. Definitely not all at the same time, though.
Yeah. Here you can see the Wave 10, by the way. So this is good announcement that Wave 10 is happening for Master of the Universe Battleground. So that's going to be also available in stores with that quarter. The Dusk Hollow, you haven't seen that one? That's one of the miniatures. I think they told me this is one of the crowdfunding gifts. I don't know. I've seen some statement. Jakub is on the stream. Just if Jakub could confirm what exactly is that miniature, but yeah, that's one of the miniatures we done for the. We are working on Dusk Hollow.
And that's the crowdfunding bonus. Apparently.
Crowdfunding bonus. That's the thingy. Crowdfunding bonus. No sound. It's all good on my side because I can see the thingy moving, so should be all fine. There is sound, okay. And that's what team is actually currently working on the interior for the castle itself. Mm-hmm. So there's a few things, obviously round walls, like a fully round wall, so there's going to be one piece round walls. Some new door systems, and obviously all the new walls and flooring system, and so on. So yeah, expect quite a lot.
Yeah, as you can see, the insides are half walls, and the outside, or like the actual castle walls, are full walls.
Yeah, and Jakub is mentioning that this is the first core set team, so that's there. Yeah. Obviously, it's gonna be fully stackable, and what you maybe haven't noticed is the external walls. They are tall walls.
Yeah,
so
that's what I said.
Oh, you said that one. Sorry. And the internal are small. Okay, good. Yes, please refresh if you're having a sound issue. Strange that happened. First time happened, by the way. So cool. Let's move on to next slide. Porthaven.
That's the Hydra.
That's the Hydra. So the Hydra one will have many heads. And that's what you ask for, isn't it? You can tell more about this.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, you can take the heads apart as well, or replace them with ones that have more heads. Of course, this was a feature that I did request, as well as some others as well on the Discord. But he is a very big boy.
Exactly. So swappable heads, not only swappable heads, you just have like, you cut one head and then two actually are growing back. So yeah, it's gonna be large model, and probably this is gonna cost like additional sprue to make, but it was requirement from you guys and you push on this one, so we made it happen. I hope you like it. Can't wait to actually have that model. Yeah, but I have that model as well.
Yeah, that's the Aboleth.
But they haven't seen it yet.
Oh, they are. Oh, have we not shown it in plastic yet?
No, I haven't shown it in plastic yet. That's going to be first time showing you this Aboleth model. So yes. So it's got tiny defect here because it's just test pro. There's that hole, just ignore that hole over there. But in general, this is the model. I can show you this is on a close-up camera as well. That's your Aboleth. Cool. Let's go back here.
Yeah, so so I believe this is the finished sculpt of the Hydra. So we still need to obviously, you know, cut it and get it on the sprues and put it on the machine before we have it physically.
So I believe this is like one of the this is penalty made model. This will be one more model after that one to actually sculpt.
Yeah, after that we have the Leviathan.
Yeah, and that's it. And we finish with models. So it's October and we finish with all the models. And it's gonna be just tooling time, which is great because we should finish then. We almost finished Starcraft for the tooling, and then we're gonna be switching for the new stuff which we already scooped for the Porthaven. So it's actually overlapping perfectly. So next year shipping, and that one as well. That one is scooped.
That's the water dragon, I believe.
Actually, this one is still. Work in progress, because you can see there's still not fully scoped the way as it should be, so you still have like a little bit of things to clean up. So, but that's the water dragon elemental. Yeah, am I not correct?
Yeah.
Am I correct? Yes. So that's the thingy there. Looks a little bit of watery. Obviously, probably gonna make it in clear plastic. No, it should be in clear plastic.
I believe it is in clear plastic. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good thing. I mean, this is the one of the comments we read it before. It's about that, you know, showing the how to work with clear plastic. That's gonna be quite a good call to make a small video to show people and how you assemble clear plastic and then how you use a little bit of washes to actually create some nice effects. Cool. Heroes battles. Now here we have something which team everything I'm going to be showing you right now is just a work in progress, by the way, because obviously it's a rank and file game, it's a plenty miniatures models, but we're currently sculpting 1, 2, 3 models from each of the squads, and then we're going to be doing like proper posing and everything else. So what you see at the moment is just very early work in progress, but we want to show you that it's actually happening, and we're currently working on that one. Okay. So that's one. It's crossbows, some skeletons, and lich. So this is what we have so far. The team has actually been on that one for last few weeks, I think, because I didn't have them 2 weeks ago. So they've been just basically scooping those things. So yes, the heroes is happening. Obviously, there's gonna be quite a lot of work in there. Still, we have some great ideas, about scoops and great ideas about bases and how the system is going to work. I think you're gonna like it. I want to test something. They're gonna be doing like a small test scoped, and we'll take it through you guys. And I want to know what you think about it, because this kind of approach of I want to make a small dioramas of miniatures instead of being like rack and file and miniature by miniature standing by the miniature. I don't like that one. I would rather go for a little bit of bigger square bases, but then have nicely sculpted, and then you glue your miniatures, and then every single miniature is like in a proper fighting pose. instead of being like, you know, standing like a soldier with no thingy. So yeah, that's for the battles for today. And then we have a Quake. So Quake is happening. I want to show you this model. Why not? Because the team also starts sculpting Quake. Quake is scheduled for to be on crowdfunding in first quarter of next year. So we push, you know, several products, several games we push here and there, but Quake needs to happen, and that's the best we can do. So next year, first quarter. I think it's planned for January, but I don't think so. It's going to happen in January. In January is too much. Actually, we will see. Yeah, Quake rules. That's interesting because, I mean, almost everybody here loves the Quake rules. This is something very, very unique game. Jacek come up with the rules. It's really good, in my opinion, and very, very unique. So I think many people are gonna be surprised about that game, the gameplay itself, which you know, be surprising because most of the people would expect like, you know, non-strategy, roll your dice kind of Ameritrash, but it's not. You know, it's actually quite strategical. So it's a really good game. Yeah, you'll be able to do rocket jump. That's for sure. That's the thingy. Hi Jacek. Yes, we talk about that one. We talk about the shipping Heroes. Heroes is on boat now, on the ship now. It's coming to us, and as soon as we get it, we're gonna start offloading and shipping. So shipping probably gonna start with December date. So beginning of December. This is the initial date we have for this one to arrive. And on that ship we have English and Polish, right? If I'm not correct.
Yes. The first ship is English and Polish.
And the rest of the stuff is gonna be coming later. Yes, it was advertised. The dragon was. Okay, if it was, then it will be. It's gonna be clear plastic. Oh, much different, my friend. It's completely different. Two different games. Yeah, this one is much more strategical. Okay, and it's also random. It's very random in terms of the map setup and everything else. It's a kind of random. So yeah. Okay, I think this is gonna be all for today. Just a quick reminder that we're going to be at Essen Spiel, running different type of demos. You will be able to play World of Tanks. The World of Tanks will have its own release by then. I think we're gonna
it should be available at Essen Spiel, to my knowledge, right?
Yes, it will be available. Yeah. So it will have its own release. So this means you'll be able to buy the starter boxes and booster packs. We will have a battleground. No, I don't think we're gonna have. We will have the battleground as a product in there, but I don't think we're gonna have demo tables. We will need to check what demo tables we will have. But definitely, battleground will be one of the other products we're gonna have available. Especially that we have so many new releases for retail for the last year or so. Obviously,
but we will have a demo table for Starcide.
Yeah, will be. I think not. I think we decided not to.
Oh, okay.
I think we decided to take something else instead in that place. Because we're not going to be having time for painting all the models miniatures, so that needs to be moved to something else.
Okay.
For the next one, for the next thingy.
But there will be multiple demo tables.
Yeah, one demo table for Battleground included. So yeah, there'll be one. And then obviously it's not here on the screen, but also Starcraft. So we will have like 4 tables for Starcraft demo, when we can just show rules and you can roll some dice and have a feel of the game. And plenty miniatures and models on display. The new stuff, old stuff, painted, unpainted, large diorama, and some special things you can. You'll be able to take lots of photos next to it. We'll see whether we're gonna take it or not.
Yeah, and I also recommend checking out our social media platforms because there was a StarCraft teaser released recently.
Or was it?
Yeah, there was a teaser. So
okay,
just a small hint of what's maybe coming soon.
Yeah, there will be something special for StarCraft at Essen Spiel. So And you know, just in general, watch the social media, because some things will be also announced on the social media during that time. So that's that there. Okay. Your brother will be there. I can't sadly. Hey, just say your brother to say hello to us. And we are in a hall 1. In fact, I think we are the biggest stand in the hall 1.
Maybe.
Yeah, so massive stand. We got a little bit bigger stand because the guys from Trench Crusade, they needed some space, and they were late to the party to book anything for Essen Spiel. So what we did, we just give them corner from our stand, and they're gonna be at our stand, the Trench Crusade. So you probably heard about that one. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, I was on a Gamescom. Gamescom was my first Gamescom this year, and I can tell you right now. I mean, I had this thinking about the Gamescom. Gamescom is such a boring event. It's unbelievable. Like comparing to Essen Spiel, you know, at Essen Spiel you can go and test and try and see lots of, you know, different products, that product and board games, miniatures, and everything else. Bloody hell, at the Gamescom, you just like, you know, wait in the queue for hours just to have like 15 minutes gameplay.
Yeah, there's a lot of waiting involved. Nah. I also wanted to get in queue, and I waited for a bit, but it's like, it was just too long, so I just left.
Yeah, it's just like Gamescom comparing to Essen Spiel is completely different event. I think Gamescom is much more enjoyable. You will see more, you will play more, you will enjoy more. Just like, you know, what for the for your brain, I would say, in terms of which trade show to pick next year.
What are the chances of you guys doing a Wolfenstein 2.0? It's not completely off the table, but it would have to be definitely in the future, like probably like, I don't know, definitely later. Probably not next year.
Yeah, more like 2027. 2026 is completely packed with releases. And several releases from this year we needed to push for next year. Like Invoker, I really wanted to have Invoker this year, but obviously Starcraft. I really wanted to have a Starcide this year, but because of Starcraft. Quake, we needed to push Quake and Dishonored for next year because of Starcraft. So everything is like in that project at the moment in terms of, you know, team. And next year we need to, you know, get our schedule back on the track. Because once Starcraft is released as a game with the beginning expansions, it will be much more less work than it's not at the moment in terms of, you know, sculpting everything else. So we will definitely get time to work on other projects and so on. Any news on Dust? I only heard some rumors, by the way. So again, this is just the rumors from the ether. So I don't know whether this is true or not, but I believe Simon sold the Dust IP to some Chinese company, which they own money to. So they gave him basically IP to clear the balance, and that company sold that IP to European company. So not us. So some company got like entire Dust line. That's including all the miniatures models and RPG and everything else. So let's wait for the other company to announce. I don't want to spill the beans. If this is true, obviously, this is just rumors. Yeah. Can we sign up for the demos? I think did we finally got that one sign up table, or we decided not to do it?
I'm not entirely sure. We may do it like signups. But I'm not 100% sure yet. If
you're gonna be there, if you're gonna be at Essen Spiel, and if all the tables will be busy, just ask for Jarek. If I'm not on a meeting, I will have like a special table. That's what I wanted. I want to have a special table set up, big table with a quick glimpse of the game, some basic rules, some everything. Just have a discussion and so on, so on. So yes, just ask for Jarek. Yeah, as well, man. As well. We're excited. I mean, the Essen Spiel is just the biggest one. So, you know, we're all excited. I mean, I really like it. I really like it, the Essen Spiel trade show. Do you already show the Kirin scope in the past, or is my memory failing me? We did show Kirin, did we?
I think
yes, we did. Yes, we did. It was actually floating on social media. So if you go on a Facebook, on a what's the name, the Dungeons and Lasers page, you will find it there. I mean, yeah, the same here, man. I mean, if we struck that deal a few months ago, we would just remake everything. The thing was that it was a little bit complicated because it was too many cooks in that project. I mean, too many pieces, too many companies in one party. Let's say that way. So we back out because it was getting too complicated. And then when I spoke with Simon, they said, "Oh, okay, this section is available of Dust. This section, which is like a zombie site, is not available because somebody else got it." It was like, okay, so what is what then? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So no, it was too complicated. And then we find out about this Chinese company who owns the tools for plastic injection, and we said, well, we're never gonna get those plastic injection tools. We're gonna have to remake everything. So it was like, I don't know. So eventually we just, we said no. Elder Scrolls and Fallout still, yes, I would say yes. I would say Modifis is doing very good job with a Fallout. That's the reason why it's off the table. Elder Scrolls has not yet been released. I think it wasn't released yet. So those things are actually off the table. There is a few games I had discussion today with one of the companies about one of the IP. They're very, very excited, and it's not gonna be a board game, by the way. We're really going to streamline the number of board games we're gonna have every year, but it's gonna be miniatures game. So skirmish miniatures game. I think that's the right direction for us to move, and that's what we're gonna do. Playmats. I want to make playmats. I'm hunting now for the machine for playmats. Yeah. I think the next step is the card games, the card itself, and after that one will be the playmats, and then we will just finalize with everything else. Because obviously we have to go for the long-hanging fruit. So what we use the most at the moment, you use plastic. We cannot make plastic, but we use plastic, and then we use a cardboard, and the boxes, which we now have 2 machines for the boxes, and then eventually will be cards, and then will be playmats. Dice, I don't think so. Dice are very, very complicated to make in Europe, and we don't have this expertise yet on making dice. So we have to rely on a third party. Okay, guys. I think it's about right time to finish. If there are no more questions, we're gonna be finishing. Oh, the Chronicle is due to 2026. Any news? No, not news. If it's gonna be fully announced, it's gonna be I think 4th quarter of next year. If we're gonna announce. Well, if you're gonna announce, it'll be earlier, but available in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. So. Well, it's still kind of like teetering on the edge of maybe being in 2026, but maybe 2027, depending on how delivery goes for the existing projects, of course.
Yeah. Business AMA. You know what? Let's make Christmas Business AMA. Christmas time. Yeah, closer to Christmas, when I would have nothing to talk about because team's gonna be away. I won't have materials to share with, so we're gonna be rambling about the business. We can go through numbers, we can go through future, we can go through all those things, and my take on a market at the moment, because market is shifting. It's shifting very, very rapidly. Yeah. So let's see, and it's not shifting the right way, I would say. Well, not for us, because we're not. We notice, and not only us, many companies actually notice huge drop out from board gaming industry, basically in general. So board games. So people are not buying board games. Either they have too much, or they just became too expensive to actually go into board gaming, or whatever, or either of those things, because obviously the tariffs from the United States. So if we don't have USA for the board games, it's very, very complicated thingy. And majority of the board games being manufactured in China. This means there is this like 35 or 55 now. What's the number? We don't know what the number even is. So our main focus of the company, and that's going to be part of the business talks about the business AMA, is what's the future and what's the strategy for our company in the next few years, because we're also shifting away from the board games. I'm not saying we're going to be fully canceling the board games whatsoever. I'm only saying we're going to be reducing the amount of board games we're going to be making.
But we still have some exciting stuff planned.
Oh yeah, like big ones, like the Starcraft board game, obviously, and other big IPs board games. But I'm not saying I won't be doing, because initially we wanted to do like, let's make one board game and then 3 board games every year. Actually, it's going to happen the other way around. Let's make 3 miniatures game and 1 board game every year. More like that. And there's a reason behind that one. Why? Okay, so I can talk about those numbers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, more info about StarCraft will be out after Essen. And then we plan to do several blog posts on Essen as well, after Essen.
There are some channels as well that have compiled all the information available online as well. I'm sure you'd be able to find them if you search a bit. I'm very excited to see what you have in store for home card game. I was one that was not put up from the inclusion of dice, but I was wondering how much reworking you need to do after removing them. Realistically, not too much. It was mainly just...
It was kind of randomizer, which we just removed. So I think wasn't that much shifting in. We needed to correct some cards for the reviewers. That's one of the things. But in general, it was just randomizer, and then we just removed the randomizer out from the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that the dice in the previous system of the home card game, it was nowhere near as random as it is in the board game, because in the board game -1 damage or +1 damage is very, very significant, whereas here it's not as significant. It wasn't as significant because all of the dice, they always dealt at least 1 damage. But they also had the chance of activating either special effects or doing like a critical damage, or if you're at a disadvantage, you had the chance of doing no damage, but that's like very rare.
Yeah. I mean, what you're shifting, we're mainly going to be shifting in everything plastic. So war games, skirmish games, and so on. I mean, everything we can make here in house in our factory. I'm really like kind of totally fed up with making products in China, or basically overseas, because its transport is at least 3 months, and manufacturing is 3 months or 6 months. You're never gonna get accurate dates from China about shipping. It's not sustainable to run a business. If somebody tells me that they know a company which lives off the board games with small portfolio of the board games, I'll be really clapping my hands, because I don't know the company. I don't see the business there, basically. So it's a heavy product. It's a complicated product. It's an expensive product.
Yes, margins are already razor thin.
Margin is very, very tiny.
And it's like with tariffs, it's just unsustainable, basically.
Yeah. So the board games are not what we want to do. We want to shift into card games. So that's the other one. So definitely we're going to be doing more card games and the miniatures games, and then 1 board game every year, just to keep the beat going. And unfortunately, this decision happened this year when the tariffs were announced and the minis cancelled. So just recently, I would say, but we still have some great IPs in the pipeline. So we have a Quake, Dishonored, which we signed the deal last year, because that was a plan for this year to actually get them out. But it is what it is. And then we have like 1, 2, I would say 3 kind of IPs different for the board games for the next year. Some of them we're gonna have to postpone even more. Yeah.
Yeah, Stonemaier Games does well. Like if you have a lot of sales, then there are some board game companies. Letter Games, of course, as well. Another example.
I mean, there's an entire family who lives on the Terraformation Mars. There's a company run by the family, and they have only 1 game in the portfolio, which is Terraformation Mars. So same for the Pandemic. I'm not talking about big titles. One title which sells like Catan, 10 million or 20 million copies of the board game. I'm just talking about like basically portfolio of the thingies. So yeah.
Go On Board seems to be doing fine with their board games and miniatures, such as Witcher and Cyberpunk, but I do agree that Chinese production is problematic. You have to also keep in mind that for Witcher and Cyberpunk, these are IP projects, and the margins on these games are even smaller than regular board games.
Exactly.
So even if you see a massive number on the in the pledge manager or during the campaign, it's not necessarily indicative of how much the publisher is actually going to be earning.
Yeah.
Or in this case, either Go On Board or us in some cases as well.
Because normal margin, and I did say that one during one of the AMA Ask Me Anything, one of the interviews about Heroes of Might and Magic 3. So the final margin after all the cost, everything basically, because the licensor you have to pay also licensing fee, was 17%. I think it went down to 13%, 13%. So it's really low margin if you have a look on the number, global number, and then comparing that one to the profit. And then you have to generate the profit in order to actually create new products. Okay, so all in all, if you have economy of scale, if you have a massive project, then yes. If you have tiny projects, like 2 or 3, like, couple of hundred or a few thousand people on every single IP project, it's not sustainable. Absolutely not sustainable. And retail, it's even worse. Because in retail, the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 works only on a crowdfunding. Only. In retail, we make almost... Imagine that, you know how much profit we make on single board game? Guess it. Try to guess how much profit we have on a Heroes of Might and Magic board game in retail. I'll give you a few seconds. Do you know the number?
Oh, I don't know. I don't follow the business stuff as much.
Yeah. So I can tell you just in a second, maybe you won't be guessing, but if we make $8, this is the last profit for every single sold game. We made $8. So it's a heavy product. It's a massive inner warehousing, and it's basically I will have to sell hundreds of thousands every year to keep the company running on such a low margin for the board games. It's a very expensive to manufacture, and then obviously every single distributor retailer, they require at least 50% off. So you have to think about, there's a price of $100, then there's a price of, then you have to remove the VAT, which you have to pay, and then out of that 50%, out of that cost of manufacturing, out of that shipping cost, because you have to cover the shipping cost, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's also a really big strain on logistics as well.
Exactly. So
we could be selling like the overall big number at the end of a campaign. It could be smaller. For example, for caves, the number is much smaller, but much more of it stays, and that's a much better use of our logistics. Basically, if we were to just ship multiple products, multiple campaigns out like caves, instead of multiple projects like Heroes.
Oh yeah, just that's going to be part of the business discussion on the last AMA this year. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you a few graphs, but I can only mention that we made almost 6 times more profit on Dungeons and Lasers, 6 times more than on one of the campaigns on the first campaign of Heroes. It's a big difference. It's a massive difference. So yeah, but that's the thing about the board games, guys. There was a reason why the board games never been like a huge product out there. It's only the golden age of the board games actually started when the crowdfunding happened. When the people have seen it that, okay, I can now sell it directly to the customer for the whole margin, for the whole profit, instead of giving away to distributors. So the crowdfunding was the beginning of the golden age. Without the crowdfunding, there is no board games. There's no big board games. There's no IP board games. It's not worth it to make an IP board game, by the way. If you want to just sell it because you have to sell 4 or 5 times more than you sell through crowdfunding, and it's very, very difficult to get it's very difficult to get the crowdfunding numbers in retail in terms of volume. Instead of volume, unless you have a massive hit, obviously, but I'm not talking about a massive hit. I'm just talking about I'm not talking about the special people. I'm talking about normal people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the board games are good advertisements for your company. That is definitely one big advantage of doing a board game like Heroes, or in the case of Go On Board, like Witcher or Cyberpunk. It gets a lot of new people into in the space. And definitely can attract more people to your other projects as well. if they would normally be interested in them.
Yeah. Oh yes, Mexico definitely yes. Mexico, that's for sure. It might be translated for the translation. It's gonna be some time because at the moment we're gonna be only releasing in English. Maybe in the future in other languages, like Spanish, for instance, right? Yeah. That's the other side of our business, by the way. We make like models for Mantic, for GF9, for many companies, There's more companies actually now in a line just to get plastic injection done, but we don't have space now. We don't have thingies.
Investing in green energy or other things that that in the longer run could cost your production costs. Yeah, we do have solar panels out there. Yeah.
We do have we have 150 kilowatts solar panels here. The another 200 kilowatts solar panel is going to be installed on a new building. It needs to be because it's a requirement from government. So it's going to be 350. So yeah, we cut expenses, and we have to cut expenses in order to actually, because electricity in Europe is just ridiculous. This green agenda, this everything just, comparing to cost of electricity, labor, everything in China is just.
I mean, no. At this point, I'm pretty sure green energy is cheaper than coal, no?
It's not about kilowatt per kilowatt. It's about the transfer of this energy, because it's not sustainable. You count on good weather. If there's no weather, there's no electricity, there's no power. So the electricity demand it stays as it is. I cannot shut down factory because there's no sun.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not sustainable. The price never will be sustainable unless they find a way how to make this energy sustainable. So there's, I don't know, massive power banks which are gonna be loaded up with energy when the energy is like overproduced. And then when the sun is not there, or the wind is not there, and so on. But yes, kilowatt to kilowatt is fine, but not is sustainable. Look what happened in Spain. Entire collapse for Portugal, Spain or Portugal. Entire collapse of electric lines, everything else, only because there was a massive blackout just literally a few months ago because of that. So
I don't think it was because of green energy. But regardless, it's off topic.
So we have to do those things. Somebody mentioned some robots here. Don't buy new robots to cut one sprue off the machine then.
No, yeah. Trust me, those robots are like one of the best investments.
Yeah.
Trust me, you do not want your hands stinging after, or like swelling after like hours of cutting them.
Your hands, because you never work hard. That's the problem.
No, listen, I had my start here at this company cutting sprues on those machines. And
yeah, because you need to start from the bottom.
Yeah, of course.
It's not like, you know what I'm saying, yeah?
I mean, I was fine, I was fine with it. It just hurts, but like, the first time you do it.
Stop complaining, come on.
But it was fun in that, I could just have my headphones on, just turn off completely my brain, and just cut sprues for 8 hours.
Yeah. But in general, yes, the robots, we have to invest into robots. Because again, labor is more and more expensive. So we have like currently 3 operators. We have 3 operators, actually 1 operator on 3 machine. With the robots, we're gonna have 1 operator on 5 machine, but the quality of the sprue is much better, because the robot picks up from the machine and plays on a conveyor belt, and before it reaches the box, the sprue is laid flat. So there's no reshaping of the sprue whatsoever, and it's give you time to sprue to cool down, and then operator will be able to grab it and spend a little bit more time on, under the light, just to, almost 100% check every single sprue whenever we make production. So that's good. And because we are in the need of operators, we won't have to employ more operators. We can move those operators into other machines. So, that's part of the running business, Every year we are forced to do some improvements, and that's part of the improvement. Yeah, we have many legs, I would say, because we fully sustainable. Even if we have to run just services, we are fully sustainable just on the services. So if the tough times comes, definitely gonna be available at some time. We have options to sustain ourselves and stay okay.
I really wish OPR had gone with you guys for their Gamefound campaign. The fact that they went with Chinese PVC cast put me off backing it, especially at the prices they're looking for.
I mean, I talked with them about that, and they didn't want to have plastic. They said we had long discussion with them about who the customers are and whether the customer is going to be happy with this type of product. I don't see value in this type of plastic. By the way, it's just like it's a cheap board game pieces, right? So, you know, hobby is a hobby. This is the thing in which many people don't understand. They think that they have like, okay, let's create a revolution in the wargaming. Let's make a fully assembled miniatures and maybe even pre-painted. You know, I don't think so. Somebody tried that one before. Yes. Where's this Kopali? Where's Rackham? Rackham doesn't exist because they shift into something completely some oblivion, right? I don't know what they were thinking about. They had the best miniatures in the market, Rackham, especially for confrontation. Amazing miniatures. I found the box the other day, miniatures from 1995. They were much better than GW ever made, even by now. Like in metal, they were just so amazing miniatures, poses, everything, and all of a sudden they decided to go for fully assembled pre-painted miniatures. I mean, this is not hobby, right? So the hobby is, I've got my miniature on a sprue, I want to paint it, I need a quality miniature, not, you know, playing pieces. Playing pieces, leave it for the board game. So that's the big thing. I mean, yeah. Okay, I'm rambling too much now. But it's just basically, you know, having understanding about having understanding about the hobby itself. You know, what people need, what people actually, how the people use this product. Some people might say, oh yeah, I have to glue it and you know, cut it out of the sprue. Yes, it's part of the hobby. You're building something. You spend your time. You're just getting familiar with this miniature, and then you paint it. It's yours. It's your skill, you know, and so on, so on. And stripping out the hobby from the wargaming ain't never gonna work. Absolutely never. Okay, that was me talking out loud. Right. Okay, we got a few more questions. And we're gonna go. Are you not using computer vision to QA? Not yet. I was actually writing something. I was writing a small program that will be actually reading the sprues. I haven't done it yet. I haven't finished yet, but I was writing the program just to see how to implement that one. The problem is with the tiny complexity of the sprue. It was detecting a large defects, but it wasn't detecting tiny defects, and that's the problem. We don't have a problem with the large defects, because large defects will be picked up very easily, very quickly, because it's like on the injection machine. If you have a large defects, it will just come back all the time, constantly, so you spot it straight away. The tiny defects, that's the ones which actually occur every, I don't know, 100 sprue, every 200 sprue, so operator might not be able to pick it up. And then it's the camera setup and the camera systems available out there, they are not that well, they are very detailed and specific camera setups, but they're extremely expensive, much more than, you know, person actually standing there and watching. So yeah, I was trying to build something by myself. I don't know if I will have strength and energy to finish that one, but yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be more sustainable if we had like an actual, like a machine that's just permanently just making the same sprue, because like setting up the machine for every single different kind of sprue would probably like take up a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
If we did like computer vision for
I mean, on a conveyor belt, when the sprue is actually traveling, because the conveyor belt, it doesn't work constantly. You just move whenever the machine apply one sprue, and it stays there. And then so there will be time to actually come out and take the photo and compare with the master. But again, you need extremely high resolution cameras with extremely complex and expensive software to do that. It is used for micro, you know, elements, so on. But we're making sprues, and we have 12 injection machines. So setting up 12 machines like that on every single machine, it's going to be costing more than this entire factory. So I need to build something by ourselves and process, you know. Yeah. I think Starcraft board game also includes the broadband units, or Starcraft. Yes, they include both. Like we did both for the Starcraft tabletop miniatures game. Will have the miniatures from Starcraft and Starcraft 2. Okay, I think, let me just clear that one. I think it's about time to finish for today. And yeah, let's see each other at the Essen Spiel. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah, and just after this, and we will do just the Starcraft one.
Yeah.
Ask me anything, Starcraft one. We will have more photos, pictures. I think we're going to be able to talk more freely about everything because it's going to be shown to you guys. So yeah, let's do that. Thank you for joining, and thank you for, as always, your support and so on. And have a nice one. Have a nice weekend. And